Welcome back to the Pop Agenda, where we cover everything under the pop culture sun. Today I'm here with recording artist and music producer Nicholas Tyler.
No.
I'm really excited to talk to you and learn more about your artistry. Some of my favorite songs of yours are Deep, Still Wishing on a Star,
Yeah.
Pandemonium, Falling Down, and Light Up the Night. So, in case you guys haven't heard Nicholas Tyler's music, I'm gonna give you a little a cappella rendition of my favorite song by him called Deep. Come to me now. This is your chance to show me how. What you got deep down. We can go slowly now. Oh my gosh, that's such a fire song.
Thank you. My name is Nicholas Tyler. I originally started recording in 2003 because my grandparents were like, follow your dreams, follow your passions, no matter what, don't give up. Just like that was always the energy. They got me karaoke machine when I was 10, which I have cassettes somewhere of me doing things like that. And, so started with the name Nicholas Strunk. Then I tried to go by Nicholas. And then I eventually in 2010, 2011, decided Nicholas Tyler is what I'm going by. Since then, I have just been producing and writing and the whole nine yards. Like I try to do as much as I can myself, but I have branched out to other people.
OMG. So, Nicholas, what Spice Girl are you? I'm Baby Spice.
I'm posh. But obviously everyone says, oh, you're ginger though. But no, I'm not much of a Jerry. I love Jerry, but I'm Victoria all the way. Like if I'm ever done with music, which I highly doubt, but if I ever were to be done, I would move into fashion, imagery, videography, that whole thing. And fashion is like a huge part. So
Love that. Love Posh.
yeah.
So, Nicholas, how would you describe the sound of your music?
I would say some of my music is a little bit of like Nelly Furtado Loose meets a little bit of Gwen Stefani. I was super influenced by an artist named Tiara Marie, who is absolute fire. Love her. Just like that was my teen years. As I started to become like 18, 19, 20, I was really influenced by Moby, Boards of Canada, Kesha, anywhere from party music to really ethereal. So then I started to, move into a little bit more R&B for a while, which is my absolute favorite genre. It's like electronica, R&B, pop, and like experimental. It's always experimental because I love to do something that somebody else is not doing. So yeah.
Love that. I feel like I can hear all of those genres in your music. And that leads me to ask my next question. Who are your biggest musical influences?
Well, obviously, fashion. The pick. One of them is Janet.
Little
Love
baby Janet.
Oh, so good. I love Janet. I love Nivea. I love Ashanti, J-Lo, Britney. The list goes on. Christina Milian. I'm even influenced just by like artists who maybe were only popular for just a brief moment in time. Scarlett J.
Who are your top dream collaborators if you could choose anybody and they would already say yes? Who would you choose to collaborate with?
Ooh, first artist that came to mind was Tinashe. That
Yes.
would be so fun. Charlie. What if they've died? Can I pick someone
Yeah.
who's died? Aaliyah,
Dead or alive. Yeah.
Sophie. Gosh, I think it'd be fun. Madonna, Britney, of course. Like Paris,
Yes.
of course,
Yes.
Paris. Like
I could I definitely see a song with you and Paris Hilton, like all glitter and pink music video. That would be
yeah,
perfect.
Pink Velour. Like
Yes. Oh, the velour. Oh my gosh.
yeah.
It feels so good. It's like buttery soft on your skin.
By the way, an appearance. Miss Ruby decided she
Hey
wanted to.
Ruby.
She matches me today. I love that.
Uh, What have you found is different from the indie musician scene now compared to like back in the MySpace days?
Back in the MySpace days, I had to put my music on CDs in order for people to hear it, or like MySpace only allowed 4 songs at a time, so I had to shuffle between my tracks. I did release my full albums on SoundClick, but not a lot of people knew what that was, so it was really hard back in the day to kind of just like get anybody to really see what I was doing. I have so many songs that I just feel like nobody's heard. And so like having these re-releases out, it's like having something new but it's old. So it feels good. It's like I'm literally dropping my whole discography, like, as a grown adult.
Love that. Yeah, I like have a bunch of music too that I need to put it all on streaming and put it back up. So, like, I'm so inspired by your current era right now, like putting everything back up and like remastering everything. So, do you feel like you make music for your younger self?
Yeah, I do. You know what? I was determined at a young age to never give up. Like, literally, never give up. And it doesn't matter how many times someone either bullies you, tells you no, like if you really want that thing, keep practicing, keep going, keep just like my adulthood to my younger self because I did stay very loyal to myself. I have stayed a certain way most of my life because of my younger self. So it's like, yeah, my younger self is screaming happy, like so fucking happy.
I feel like a lot of artists have that in common. Like, I'm always, when I'm making a new song or like something creative, I'm always looking back. I'm like, what was I doing when I was 21 and I was in this situation and what did I like back then? It's like almost like, I don't know, it's like creating it for your previous self. So like I totally vibe with that. That's so cool. So you took about like a 10-year break in between albums from 2014 to 2024 to improve your craft. That's so cool. What was that period like for you and what did you learn?
Let me tell you. I have probably 3 versions of Seattle Palm just scrapped. That album title came from in fact, the cover, I'll kinda tell you about the cover, Seattle Palm, to kinda tell you about why and what and how it evolved. So, there was this, like, a dreamscape just a website back in the day before like AI and like all of that hit. And I took a picture I edited and threw it into the dreamscape. So it kind of warped it a little bit. And I went in and I edited like a skeleton into the cover, referencing that moment that I was going to learn my craft and come back, meaning like the past has died. Like I truly in 2014 felt like a huge part of me died. I had no idea how to go on. It was devastating. So I came up with the idea of Seattle Palm. I was journaling it. I was journaling it back in 2014, 2015, and then was like, by 2016, I was like, I'm going to release Seattle Palm. But I had Troy step into my world and he went, don't release that album right now. I was like, why not? It's done. It's good. It's whatever. He's like, no, I'll help you make something better, basically. And he wasn't rude because it was very mixtapey. It didn't sound finished. It was, and so Troy stepped into my world in that 10 years. He taught me, like, I knew how to make beats, but he told me and taught me how to make beats beyond just basic loopage. Like, is loopage a word?
I think so.
Taught me beyond that. And he taught me to be self-sufficient on my work. We have so many songs that are like unreleased at this point from the original Seattle Palm because we were learning together, but him doing that helped me unlock what became everything you're hearing today. A lot of the songs that you've heard on the last 2 albums were either conceptualized or written in that 10 years. The way they sound, not necessarily because one night in 2023, I had like this manic episode and I felt like the world wasn't real. And I scrapped all the music and redid it. And so I redid it and all of a sudden just started dropping stuff. And I didn't think that the album was necessarily finished, but I had like this Linda Perry voice inside of my head that whole album. Do not change anything. I had moments My dog, her name was Hannah, and she had cancer. And there were songs that I recorded while she was sitting with me, and they were demos. And although I should have rehearsed those to make them like, whatever, in Linda Perry's terms, don't change it. So I let like the raw thing be what it was. Whereas my newest album, I spent like weeks and months rehearsing my demos, having fun, but Seattle Palm was all about, I'm going to give you the most like raw form of me.
Going back to the Linda Perry thing, I think what you're
Mhm.
talking about, I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, is that obviously Linda Perry produced and I think helped write multiple Christina Aguilera albums. And on Stripped, they were working on the song Beautiful, which was one of the singles. It's a huge song. And Christina Aguilera sang the demo, and Linda Perry was like, and Christina Aguilera wanted to like re-record the demo, but then Linda Perry was like, "No, do not change a thing. No offense, but you're gonna ruin it if you do." Is that what you're talking about?
Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. That whole, don't look at me, you know? And
Don't
then
look
what's
at me.
funny is a lot of us, including me, made songs where I intentionally added something like that to the beginning of a song because of that true, honest moment that she had. But now I've stopped doing that. Now, like, there are moments in some of my songs where, like, my dog runs up and you can hear her or something. And I leave little bits of that in the music, and most people don't even notice it. But, like, I leave things crinkling of, like, the paper or, like, certain breaths and stuff, especially with, like, the way that AI music is going, there's, like, no character to it, so it's just kinda like I want people to have that, like, human touch. And although I love robotic music, and I have made robotic as fuck music, I I think I'm gonna be leaving a lot of human touch things into my music. Little errors aren't errors to me. I think that it's leave it. Like, leave it. Leave that crinkle of the paper that you were reading the lyrics from. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah,
Mm,
totally. So for your album Red Hot Midnight, which I'm a huge fan of, you
thank-
dropped the album on Bandcamp before putting it on streaming services. So like as an indie creator, how important do you feel platforms like Bandcamp are?
I'm not gonna lie. In my world and just I'm my own competition. Red Hot Midnight was my most successful era for doing that. And that was because I got to kind of see who wanted to get it first. And I made sure to tap into, like, every single one of those people's lives too, and just, like, really, like, open up and you know what I mean? Like, that right there is exactly what I want with music, is that connection. So, whether it's 10 people, 20 people, whatever, like, that is the most important bit of making music for me. It's not about having a million streams and this and that. It's about like just crafting and doing. And Bandcamp gave me the opportunity to release the album the day I wanted to release it. I felt like streaming was just going to be so like not special. And to have it exclusively released, I ended up dropping it the next week, of course, but streaming. But that first week, like, and it was so cool to see how many people like bought the album and supported it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that's why I even included little bonus pictures.
Yeah, I think that's super important to have like platforms like that, or just in general, like releasing the album exclusively for purchase before it goes on to streaming. Because, like, when you put it on streaming, it's like, oh, it's available on streaming. Okay, I'll go stream it. But, like, if it's not available on streaming, but you can purchase it, then, like, the true fans are going to purchase it. So, my absolute favorite song of yours from your new album, Red Hot Midnight, is Deep, and especially the extra deep late night house remix. I love it so much. It just brings it to another level. I listen to it in my car all the time.
Oh,
What inspired that song and how did that come about? The bass line is iconic. Now I hear the influence. I hear the Janet influence in it now. I had never thought of that.
Janet. I love Janet so much, and I wanted to do something that just like showed her some respect. And I'm so glad you actually were able to ask me these questions in a video format because I want to just share my love for Janet and what she has done for me and my music. And Deep was inspired by her song Deep. We go deep and we don't get no sleep. And, I love that song. Like, oh my gosh. Like, so I made a song called Deep because one day I was flipping through Logic samples and sounds. And unfortunately, I don't have the clip to show you right now. The voice, the deep,
Doop, doop,
that's
doop, doop.
actually in Logic. And then there's a sound that goes, out, something along those lines. And so I did deep, with that thing. And then I went
Doop, doop, doop.
down, down, deep, deep, down, down. And I layered it. That my deep is layered probably like 17 times of me doing it in different tones. I morphed it with some pitch shift in one of the quieter layers to kind of give it that like fullness. And in fact, I re-recorded the vocals for the remix entirely. It's completely different. So
That's why it sounds a little different. I had not even realized
it's
that.
more confident because like the deep, deep, down, down, deep, deep, down, down, that is more clear. It's more loud as opposed to like the original. It was like, okay, cool. I like this. This is good. And then like I was just in the bathroom rehearsing my songs like I do and thinking about the remix. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know exactly. Cause I was like, how would I do it live? And so what you're hearing in the remix during the deep, deep down, down part is actually how I would likely do it live. Cause that's just there's barely any effect on that one as opposed to the original. I'm stacked with tons of different cool things in there.
What inspired your iconic track Love Lust?
Ooh, okay. So Love Lust is one of my favorites. Justin Timberlake, flat out Love Stoned. That last part of Love Stoned where it turns into I Think She Knows. The I Think She
Oh,
Knows part. I was inspired by I Think She Knows. So Love Lust. And I think we all feel that feeling of like love with someone, but it's definitely like lustful because it's very unsure. It's very like questioning. It's like you really want to be with this person, but the other half of you is like, whoa. I have I have three versions of the track. I have the standard, which at the end takes the beat and it literally slows down to nothing. I have it literally,
ooh.
it just like slowly like slows to nothing. The radio edit cuts that entire bit out. The video I made sure it stayed in. And then I have the melancholy mix, which was inspired by Pet Shop Boys. Not that version was not inspired by Justin Timberlake whatsoever. That version was entirely inspired by the Pet Shop Boys. They're wonderful. Check out their like 2000s discography. I know a lot of people know their 80s and 90s, but ooh. In fact, I have a cover of Luna Park which I really need to get back out there because it to me feels like one of those songs that it's like it embodied me. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? When a cover
I
song.
feel that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that's me with Carly Rae Jepsen, Warm Blood.
Mm,
That song just speaks to my soul. Like I don't know how, why, but yeah, so that's one
I
I'm
know how
working
and
on.
why. I've heard it.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know, it's just like it's speaking to me. Like and a lot of songs are like that too, but that one's like I'm going to have to cover that one.
Yes.
So your song Look Closely is like the perfect example of a good dark pop song.
Thank
It
you.
really gives like Queen of the Damned vibes. What was it like creating that song?
That one was fun. I was actually feeling so angry and upset, and I didn't know how to channel my emotions. And instead of doing anything irrational and crazy, I decided to get into that computer and make something as dark as I felt in that moment. It was almost like a message to myself, really, truly. Like you better look closely. You manifest what you're wanting. Underneath my dreams is hesitation and spite. like I'm feeling all these like pent up feelings and it's really all me. I can do anything, but I'm holding myself back. So it was like a message to myself. It was like if I could look myself dead in the face and, you know, say those things, like it's like be careful, better watch closely, better keep going. Careful what you do.
You've collaborated several times with Troy Clemens, who's a talented guitarist and music producer. Did you collaborate with him on Red Hat Midnight and Seattle Palm? And if so, can you tell us more about that?
Yes to both. So in Shadow, he plays the guitar. So all the guitar in that song is Troy. He's played guitar in some of my other tracks. Let's see, Soul Vibe, he entirely helped build and construct around synth layers that I made. So everything in Soul Vibe was completely done to like we spent months making Soul Vibe. So it was kind of crushing when it didn't come out in 2018. I re-recorded the vocal for the new album, but it was supposed to roll out 2018. I've had a lot of life things happen in that time as well. So it was just kind of like, you know what? Let's just do things on my own terms. Let's just not do any pressure. And it came out on Red Hot Midnight. It just didn't suit Seattle Palm was the issue. Otherwise it would have came out on Seattle Palm like planned. But Seattle Palm devolved into a whole different type of project. It's a lot more ethereal than Red Hot Midnight.
It is very ethereal.
Yeah. He has little tinges throughout all my music. He programmed Shadow with me. He's all throughout my like I even songs that he's not like physically on, it's felt like he was a part of the album for the process through phone calls, through listening to demos, through the whole bit. So very thankful for him.
So, Nicholas, you're a literal icon, and I've
Thank
actually
you.
learned a
You're so
lot from
sweet.
you. So, you taught me that a good songwriting technique is to like get your instrumental and then you'll record yourself kind of like freestyle mumbling,
Yeah.
like, and then you'll like play it back and you'll start writing the lyrics from like what you hear from it or what you think sounds well. How did you come up with this technique and do you regularly implement it?
I didn't do it as much back in the day. Nowadays, I try to study my demos. If it's a rap, I usually try to let the rap just be what it was when it was. But pop a lot of times, you know, get your like your notes in, your what you're kind of going for. And if you want to go back and rewrite, a lot of times I do just freestyle and leave it as it is. In fact, I say things that I'm like, "Is that correct grammar?" Like, I leave a lot of things. Like, it's like this was what it was. But then I do like to rehearse songs. Deep was rehearsed. I spent so many weeks just dancing and rehearsing Deep. And so that, because to me, that feels more like a big pop production as opposed to a lot of my like chill kind of songs. Like Light Up the Night was a complete freestyle. So the version you,
Okay.
yeah, the version you hear though is a redone version of a demo. And in fact, I have a Seattle Palm sounding version of that song that is not released yet, but maybe one day. It's good. I like it. It's not what I would have released is the thing. It felt like, okay, but that final version is like, yeah, I would really like, that's what I want out. So, you know, some bonus material someday, but I love Light Up the Night.
I love that song too. It's really good. I like your video too. You're like smiling as you're dancing. I'm like, ooh, girl.
Yes, and that was used with all Seattle photography and stuff, like brought to life through Adobe and like Firefly. And I have a huge Adobe package and I have like all these apps that I don't use. And in fact, I actually want to learn how to do more like 3D modeling and stuff and really create like a cool digital world. It's going to be so fun. I have a vision for my future, but I use Adobe for like most of my stuff and then CapCut and Movavi. And that's how I bring all my videos together. There's another one I use, Prequel. I use Prequel for colorizing and cool little effects. And yeah, it really just brings my world together. But I'm just loving making these videos. I don't care if they're like high budget looking, or it's just so much fun. Like that's the most important part at the end of the day. So
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like you can tell when someone's doing it for like what they think other people would want to do and they're not doing it in an authentic way. It kind of just shows. So yeah, it's great that you're authentic. And then actually you and me have talked about this before, but it's almost like I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's almost like it's trending to like have like low budget like videos and like cuz it shows you're like indie, it shows you don't have this huge label behind you and like it makes it more interesting. So I love that for you. And
I
like
feel like you're so right about that. Like it's like to the like on the dot, like T's crossed, I's dotted. Like that is exactly what's happening because what happened is everything became too perfect. And then what we found out is a lot of artists were tortured when their work looked perfect. And we're for the people. We're not about the torture of an artist. Like so like support people in what they're doing. And it doesn't matter if they're just singing in a hairbrush in their bedroom. Like support support the people. Like people anybody trying anything, anyone daring enough to try any kind of talent, even if it's not perfect.
so I've heard you talk about how like the nighttime is kind of like the time when you're most creative. Is that what inspired the title of Red Hot Midnight?
Yes. And in fact, the title Red Hot Midnight is in one of my songs on my 2014 album 24. And it's a song called Vibin' Don't Stop at the Waistline. It'll be back soon. It may be out there somewhere right now. It's probably somewhere out there, but it will be back on like Apple and Spotify soon. So I'll be able to show you. But I say on this red hot midnight, gonna take you out for life. When the concept happened, in fact, Red Hot Midnight was concepted before Seattle Palm, but Seattle Palm was more where I was at. Red Hot Midnight is more where I wanted to be, but I was not there yet. I was not there. And in fact, that is why Seattle Palm is like a dream world and Red Hot Midnight is a radio station within that dream world. So the next album, not going to say what, but it all goes together. It all goes together. So the videos are going to continue to be quite dreamy through the next era. It's going to be
Yes,
cool.
I'm ready for Act 3.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I'm guessing it will probably be out in like summer of 2027. It's like
Love
a
that.
safe bet, but we'll see. It's really cool. The one thing that I can say about it is it's kind of I don't know if it would be considered political, but it's in the sense of like I'm battling with robots and AI and I'm trying to escape it. And I'm in this like whole like entire like universe where I'm just trying to be me. It's so yeah, some of the songs are very like almost industrial. Yeah.
I love industrial. So basically, it sounds like your concept is like real life. Like, because we're here freaking trying to be ourselves with all
Yeah.
this fucking AI bullshit all everywhere and freaking like eyes in the skies, freaking all stupid shit. You can't even go to the movie theater without them knowing your whole name. And like,
Right.
hey, you're like ridiculous. I love that. I'm really excited for all that. So for this era, you've been releasing like a single a month, which is really cool with a music video. Ooh, sorry. So how has the like one single per month worked? And also how has the releasing the music video later after the single release, how has all that worked for you?
I started the era in October of 2025 is when Red Hot Midnight started. That was the first single on Halloween. And I would say dropping singles every month since that moment has given each song its own moment. As opposed to originally, I was going to drop Red Hot Midnight in November of 2025. And you know what ran through my head was first off, I don't feel like it's finished. There's more songs I want to write. Second off, all the songs are just going to be there, that they'll exist all at once. And I just didn't sit right with me. I was like, you know what? I'm going to release a single a month for an entire year. And I'm still doing that. And it's going to go past a year because I plan it through January. So it's going to be like more like 16, 17 months that I've dropped a single month. And you know what? I haven't even thought about the Seattle Palm one. So I'll probably have like a 2-year streak where I've just released a single a month, and it works out for me. I get little boosts. I see sometimes, like right now, my Spotify streams aren't great, but I saw it spike up to like 400 some people when the album dropped. So I was like, it
Yes.
drops back down. It does, but like it's exciting to see like people are tuning in for moments. And I did get a lot of love on this new album, but I'm continuing the singles from it. But now the videos will come out the day as the single, because so any of the future singles that will drop on the day, because the album already exists. You've already heard the songs. So now it makes sense to have the video drop because the video's the boost. Whereas dropping all those singles way before the videos, that was the moment for the single. Then in the summer, I was dropping the videos. That song had another moment because I dropped the video way later than when the song originally came out. So it actually like benefited me over the year that it had a boost in October and it had a boost in June. Like,
Yeah,
so
it kind of sounds like you're giving two separate lives to each single, like one
yes.
through the single release and then the music video. Like that's so cool. And I feel like it's kind of on point to how album and music rollouts have been lately.
Mm.
Kind of like, where like an artist will release like a bunch of singles before the album finally drops. And then we have like Paris Hilton making music videos for, I don't remember which one it was. Heartbeat? Was it Heartbeat? She made a
Yeah.
music video for Heartbeat like years later. Great
Yes.
song. I feel like it's
I am
never too
inspired
late.
by that. I'm so inspired by that. I need to make videos to some of my older songs is what I need to do. Thank you, Paris. Like, seriously.
We owe this all to Paris Hilton. We love her.
So inspirational with my music, your music. Seriously. Like I was devastated that a second album took as long as it took. I checked the internet monthly until like all throughout 2007 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11, all the leaks, like Paris, that chef's kiss.
I know it was definitely worth the wait, but like I won't lie, when she got signed to, correct me if I'm wrong, Cash Money or someone, she got
Yeah.
signed somewhere.
I wish that album came out. I liked those songs.
My I have to say that my favorite Paris Hilton song is High Off My Love. Do you
That's
want
a
to
good
get
one.
high off my love? High off my love.
I love Jailhouse Baby. I love Crave. I love Come Alive. I love
Yes.
Last Night. Like they're all good. Like they should be on streaming. Like where are these? Like Come Alive is, but you know.
So Nicholas, how did you initially build your core audience?
That was a tough one. I used to just try to engage with anybody and everybody, and that just it wasn't. That's not how you should do it. In fact, what you should do is you should try to take the time to get to know individual people at first. Find like-minded people, build your core, and from that point, you just kind of let things be natural. And because without a good support system and without good people to connect with, it kind of feels very like disarray, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I find a lot of I don't even know what the word would be. I find a lot of solitude, I guess, supporting other people. So it's kind of like I don't know. I like the like an equalness. It's very hard to explain, but I'm not for everybody, and that's okay. And it's kind of like, but there are so many people out there that like we're like-minded and you know the energy is just right. It feels so good. So yeah, it's like don't care about other people. That doesn't really matter. Like success is like within the feeling.
I totally vibe with that. I feel like I used to try to push my music to everybody. And I feel like when that was going on, I was getting like no listeners. But I'm more likely now to share my music with like other people that make music too.
Right.
Because, like, creative people, or like, you could look at it like creative people, or you could look at it like a business network type thing. It's not necessarily like a soulless transactional relationship. It's like a willing, and like it's a mutual. I wouldn't call it transactional, but it's like, I'll listen, like, show me your new song, like, and I'll share it, like, and then they'll ask me about my new song. So, like, just like you said, your art is not going to be for everybody. So, like, finding your core audience is really important.
Right. Definitely.
So, you previously mentioned taking a Christina Aguilera vocal masterclass. Can you
Yeah.
tell us more about that? That's so iconic. Huge Christina Aguilera fan here.
My friend's mom bought it for me for Christmas. I want to say in like 2020 or 2021, maybe one of those years. It was fun. Basically, I just learned a lot about breath movement. If I'm honest with you, I could not sing like her, but more comfortably, I actually can sing along with Mariah, which is weird that I can sing along with Mariah, but Christina's hard. But I learned the breath techniques from Christina to go and practice to Mariah. And I hope one day I'm able to record some vocals that really showcase what I am practicing with that Mariah Carey, because I just think I get better every single day. And I sometimes sit there and I think, damn, what? I did that? Like, it's so rewarding to just like take time for yourself. Always rehearse. It doesn't matter if it's someone else's song, or because I sing just about every single day, unless I'm sick. I literally sing every single day, at least an hour. Yeah, that's pretty
I
crazy.
vibe with that because I feel like singing like, your ability to sing a song kind of sometimes depends on muscle memory. Like, if you've sang a song so many times, like, just just the fact that your body muscles know what to do makes it
Right.
to where you sing it better.
So it was fun. I would say it was a little bit kind of like, okay, probably could have learned this from YouTube, but here we are. It was fun. Like, I really did enjoy the fact that Christina Aguilera was my teacher for a bit. So, you know.
I love that. That's so cool. So, my next question is, it could be interpreted as a little controversial, but I think it's very real. What do you think about AI music generating apps where someone with zero musical talent can instantly create a professional sounding record with an AI whose algorithm was trained on copyrighted songs?
I feel like Whitney Houston about to pass out. I do not like it. Although I will be honest, I have played with those apps when they first came out because it was fresh, it was exciting. I was excited. I was like, whoa, like, and in fact, I accidentally found it because I was just looking to restore my existing tracks. However, I learned quickly, do not put your tracks into that. And I'm so thankful I did not. I did put a couple tracks into it. Unfortunately, didn't use it. I was at first when Suno first came out, I did actually use a couple of things and broke it into stems. I was so excited, but then you know what? I learned about the environmental impact. I learned about what they were doing. I learned about the data. I learned about people weren't taking their own songs and just fluffing it up. They were completely just typing whatever they wanted, and this music was being generated for them. And that made me sick. That just made me feel like I put hours and nights, sleepless nights, like hot nights, cold nights, like I'm on that computer, and I don't like that. I do think it should be regulated though, and it could be a good music resource tool, especially for stems, but a generated song and the data thing, I'm out on that bit. So it's like, okay, cool. It was a cool concept, but now it's turned dark. So
I completely agree because it's like, what happened to those freaking trailers those commercials at the beginning of a movie when you pop in a DVD in the early 2000s? It's like, if you
yeah,
copy a movie, you wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't do this. So now they want to, right. So we've established that duplicating or whatever unauthorized use of a copyrighted material is illegal, but then they want to act like all of a sudden that's not, the precedented, like, framework of law. Like it just I am so like I mean on the other hand, I'll say something positive about these like in general like generative AI. It makes making art more accessible to people who for any reason like if you're disabled, or you never tried art and you just want to, whatever, like that's cool. It makes it more accessible to people. But if we can figure out a way where it can still be just as accessible and easy but not freaking like steal copyrighted material and like create
Right.
unauthorized derivatives and all this
Okay.
BS, then I would be for it. But since
I was
we're not
excited for it
there
when it
yet,
first I was so excited for it when it first came out because I do make my own beats and I do take the time. I structure everything out, everything where it's laid out is I've done that. Okay. It is nice when I first downloaded Suno and I was putting a couple of my songs into there. It was just nice being able to like take stems from that and just be like, oh, this really enhanced this. This is like how it should be. But then at the same time, I also had this like feeling like I don't want to offend other people. I really try to stay away from that. I love autotune. I will do autotune, but I won't do the AI. I'm just not I did do voice to text for my interludes on the album. And then I spoke over it and then manipulated it and like, but I just cannot there's just like I don't know. I also really don't like the data centers going up and
yep.
so you know what I mean? Like I
Nah.
care more about that than I would rather just like make some raw music than, whatever. I'm not gonna support that. Not unless we can figure out a way to do it without those fucking data centers.
Right. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. So, what's a lesson that life has taught you recently?
Do not take any day for granted. Like, literally something that I do, I make sure I kiss my dog probably 150, 200, 300 times a day. I speak to her like she's human. I'm kind to others. Like, I do get, like, very hermity, though. I do, and if I'm feeling like being a hermit, that means do something inside. Don't just lay there and don't just and it's very easy to fall into that, and you know what? As a teenager, I fell into that so many times. There was times even in my adulthood, like, just moments in my life where I would be laying there staring at the ceiling being like, "Wow, I'm 26 years old. I'm gonna be 27 soon." Just like those moments. My grandparents, though, instilled this in me many years ago to try to enjoy each moment, and so I have and I do. I have so many memories. I have so many yeah, I'd never take anything for granted. Follow through with that plan that you made. I mean, yes, plans fall through, and if it's really not gonna work, it's really not gonna work, but really do try to make that thing happen. Like, it's more important than you think. Because I personally have missed things in the last couple of years that I probably should have been at or done and didn't. So, don't take it for granted.
I feel like that's something really important to keep in mind because like if you had the idea to do something, it's for a reason, it's because it's going to turn out amazing if you follow through with it. So, I think that's some great advice. So, Nicholas, what advice do you have for someone wanting to start making and distributing their own music?
I recommend getting a DAW or a digital audio workstation. Start by maybe not playing your own music. Practice putting something together with the loops just for structure. And if you play an instrument and, enhance that into it, I would say just like practice. There are people out there that play like tons of instruments, and I think they are so cool. But, I do keyboard, I sing, I write. I don't know how to do drums and all that. I know how to do MIDI drums and I know how to do MIDI things, but in real life, I don't know how to do that. So to learn those, I would call them little crutches because I needed drums. I needed, you know, things. Obviously, I have Troy for guitar, but yeah, just make sure you know how to build a core. That is the most important thing. Everything else can come from that. And don't think that your core is the final thing. The core, a lot of times, is not the final thing, especially when it comes to music, not the voice, not the lyrics, but the music. A lot of times, the core, listen to it a bunch of times. Imagine other things with it. Let's say you imagine strings. You can either use strings loop or you can go into the strings MIDI and you can program exactly what you're hearing. And if you need to learn about notes, I mean, honestly, I watch a lot of YouTube videos to learn about notes and how they go. I just kind of naturally put them in now. There's so much magic. It's kind of like little spells like Hogwarts. Like,
Yes.
yeah, right? Yeah, we're like witches and wizards. Like,
I'm so silly. I wanted to ask you, but I had forgotten until now. What
yeah,
DAW do you use? And did you always use that one or did you switch?
I've had so many. In fact, right now I have Logic, 10 years with Logic. Before that, I used GarageBand. I've had Fruity Loops when I had a Mac. I had Audacity. I've tried it all. It was all exciting to me. It was like, ooh, let me try this.
So do you think you prefer Logic to the other ones?
Mhm.
Yes.
I would say Fruity Loops is really, really cool. It's really complicated. I mean, once you learn it, yeah, it's easy, but like it was very complicated. A lot of my early work was done with Fruity Loops. So hard, so hard. In fact, the saxophones in Tired was done with Fruity Loops, and that saxophone break took months. In fact, I wanted Tired to be out months before like my music took so long sometimes. It just now, to be honest, if you wanted me to make you a beat in a song, you were like, I need something by midnight. I could whip it up. I could whip it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can relate. Back when I was like starting to make music, I worked on my demo album when I was 15 and released that. That one took like 6 months to make, but like I see what you mean. Like I could probably still take 6 months on an album, but everything that it takes to like make up the song or whatever, I just know everything, like how to do it quicker and more efficiently. I know new things. Like I'm one for like advocating on never giving up on something, because if you keep practicing, even in your spare time, like, or whenever the hell you want to, like, you keep, like, you'll learn and you'll be better than before.
100%. In fact, I like my old songs more now as an adult than I liked them as a kid because I was kind of embarrassed because I was like, oh, who do I show this to? You know what I mean? Like now I'm
Yeah, I
like,
can relate.
wow. And I shock myself with some of my lyrics. There's lyrics I would not say again. Like, well, I mean, I would say it, but like, well, I just like, it's just like, I can't imagine my music now with those lyrics. So I'm glad it exists. Like, it's just different. It's just, yeah,
Me too. I have a few lines. I have several lines on my demo CD from when I was 15 that I would never write today. Just because I was like a kid, like I wouldn't say something like that now.
right.
For example, we get drunk, we get paid, I get laid, just another day. Like, no, like what the fuck?
Right. That
But I
kind of
can still like, I can be like, oh, yeah, that's iconic for what it was. Yeah, but like,
right. Yeah. I used to try to write songs to be like other people's songs, and now I just write whatever I want to hear from me. Like that's what but way back in the day it was like, oh, I want to emulate Kesha style today and be all party and like, like cool, I'm glad I did that, but I'm just happier now. Now that I'm truly making my stuff, like no influence, well, many influences, but no core influence other than myself and my own competition. I'm my own just creator of my world. So, and it feels good.
so before we finish this episode, I just wanted to bring up that I feel like a lot of people, and we've talked about this before, I feel like a lot of people look at life like a competition. Like, it's not a competition. Like, everybody's in their own lane. I mean, this is just how I see it, okay? If you want to look at it like it's a competition, have fun with that. That's great. To each their own, but no one is comparable. Like, everybody's doing their own thing in their own lane, and there's room for everybody. Like, maybe, like, yeah, I understand, like, exceptions to that, and there's more nuance to it. But I used to compete, like I never was all that competitive, but like when I started making art, I was more so like, I want to be like this, I want to be like that, because that's gonna like show people that I'm good or whatever. So it's more like a validation type competition thing, but like people need to relax. Like everybody's in their own lane. Like it's not that serious. Have fun with it and you'll get further, I feel.
Yeah, I just have fun with it, and I get excited. Like, I remember my MySpace days just being excited about like however many people there was. Like, and it wasn't some crazy number. It was just exciting, and I engaged with those people. My interactions were awesome. Like each platform, I find my niche and my people, and it keeps things feeling good. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
success in life every single day. There's success in you eating breakfast. Like for real.
So is there anything that you wanted to mention that I didn't ask about?
I would say one of my favorite songs from my past that I have been re-obsessed with and rehearsing to re-record at some point is With Your Eyes. I just love, love, love the track. There's just little bits about the old one that I'm like, okay, I could do that a little better now, but I love that track so much. And I just remember where I was when I recorded it, and just like I relived that entire moment at my grandparents. And so that's a very special track I wanted to shout out from my past, because that one means a lot.
I can't wait to hear the new version. It's going to be amazing.
I'm working on it. It's gonna be so good. I probably 2027. Yeah, or sooner
Yes.
if I'm impatient.
Yeah, you never know. Like, cause you never know when a song is gonna be finished, honestly. Like, you can have that aha moment in freaking 2 days and then it'll be done like the next week or whatever. So, all right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Pop Agenda. Huge thank you to Nicholas Tyler for sitting down with us today and sharing a look inside of his world. Make sure to follow Nicholas Tyler at Nicholas Tyler90 on Instagram and stream his music on all platforms. If you like this episode, do us a favor. Please hit that subscribe or follow button, leave a review, and share this episode with a friend. Much love to everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye.